some of the country who are poor, they need to borrow money from the World Bank, and usually the World Bank will lend them the US dollar, okay? When the interest rate is high, so the poor country need to pay high interest to United States. That was a Biden strategy, all right? But the target country that Biden, okay, want to do is China, but China is too big. So therefore, the project of this Biden increase the interest rate, cause the inflation so high, okay, is actually a failed project because it does not take down the China country. So right now, okay, Donald Trump is switching the strategy right now. So he begin to increase the tariff. So you can see that United States, they have different weapon, all right? So the traditional weapon the Biden administration used was, okay, interest rate, okay? And then right now, Donald Trump is using the tariff, all right, to counter attack the country. So right now, interest rate, Donald Trump want to reduce it because it will help to lower the mortgage loan, business loan become cheaper so that it will boost the spending and growth in United States. So it's actually benefit the United States people, all right, because they want to focus on the domestic matter first. And with that, right, it also help the Main Street, okay, with the job. So hopefully with the what we call that lower interest rate, all right, he reached that the job will be increased and then the housing will be uh, affordable because the interest rate has gone down, all right, the mortgage loan become you know, become so affordability, okay? So cost of living maybe will improve, all right? That's what he's going to do. And then reduce the government interest cost. That's the most important thing because United States, they have, you know, a lot of debt, all right? So they need to pay the interest, all right? With the high interest, of course, they need to pay a lot of the interest. So with that, by lowering down the interest rate, then Donald Trump will pay less interest. So that is the logic behind it. And also Donald Trump believed that inflation is already under control. All right. So if you look at the inflation in the United States, all right, yes, it's under control. So cutting the rate won't spark another inflations, according to him. All right. So that's the research that I have been doing for you. So that's why today when you are here, right? Okay. By right, you're just sitting in front of the computer and listen to me, all right, telling you some of the story. So today will be a bit different. Instead of talking about stocks, I tell you some story, which I think is quite interesting and it actually related, okay, to the stock market and it will affect our trading strategy. So with that, right, so that when we are informed with what we call that informations, we know what strategy we want to use. So therefore, this webinar is important for you as well, all right? Because when I want to trade, I will do some research. So it's like when I have done the research, then I just want to share with you, okay? So that's why you are here to learn something new, maybe for those of you who have not, heard about what we call that this kind of story. All right. So I try to make it more interesting for you. So why this so matter to our trading? Now you have to understand is that um, this kind of thing is actually related to a macro inflation's point, whereby there is a theory or there are some expert or there are some guru mentions that when the interest rate is being cut in the faster phase, all right, it will cause the US economy to slow down. And with that reason, it will cause the stock market to become bearish. All right. So I think some of you might hear this thing. Okay, next year could be a recession because Donald Trump is going to cut the interest rate. All right. We do not know how many times he's going to cut, how fast he's going to cut. If let's say he want to cut in a very faster way, all right, then of course it might cause some of the panic. Okay. So, but right now we want to know what is the consequences of this interest rate is being cut. But liquidity cycle starting will become bullish. Right. What do I mean by liquidity? Liquidity means that when the cost is lower, when the borrowing is lower, all right, that means the people of the United States have more money to spend. So when they have more money to spend, all right, so where are they going to put the money is? Okay, most likely most of them will put the money in the stock market. Reason is because that maybe the US dollar that they have also depreciate. All right. So this is one of the what we call that reason that you need to understand. And then short-term stock market might be volatile. Like what I mentioned just now, we do not know how fast the Donald Trump want the inflations to be cut. So if let's say the interest rate he want to cut is very in a very fast phase, then it will create some panic, okay, in the stock market, and short term might create, you know, panic selling, for example. All right, so the market might become volatile. But midterm, I believe is that, all right, it will create a strong trend, and with this strong trend, right, it will help to push up the US stock market. So I view this interest rate cut, right? Okay, short term might be volatile. Okay, because this is the first time the Federal Reserve chairman was replaced, and then Donald Trump is going to do, tremendous thing for US economy. And that's why a lot of people, including you and myself, still do not know, okay, what is going to, Donald Trump is going to do. So therefore, with that, right, there is some expectations, okay, in the stock market. So this time round, okay, where traders who understand the cycle will actually outperform. So before that, right, a lot of people only know how to look at the chart, only look at the what we call that fundamentals, okay. So if you have some a basic knowledge, all right, you no need to be expert lah in the what we call that in this topic, okay, because you are not economy, we are not academy, we are not lecturer. You have to understand is that we as an investor, we as a traders, all right, with the basic knowledge, it will be sufficient enough, all right. Because if you fall in love with the story, okay, if you trust the story so much, then it is very difficult for you to invest in the stock market, because it will create some elements of fearful, all right, because the more that you find out, the more research that you have done, okay, that means the more fearful you are. So when you become fearful, right, then you will unlikely to invest in the US stock market. So that is not the right way. So that's why I say we still focus on the chart, all right, but if you have some basic knowledge about this topic, it will be great, it will be a bonus for you, okay. So there are two phases of a rate cut that you need to be aware of. All right. Number one is that phase number one, okay, earlier cut, right? Okay, it will create some bearish for a stock market and recession fear. Okay, so that's why I explained to you just now. We do not know how fast, okay, the Donald Trump he want the interest rate to be cut. How fast, okay? So if let's say he want it to be very fast, all right, he want it to be very fast, then it might create some panic in the stock market. So when the panic occur, all right, then what happened? Panic selling might happen, okay. And then when panic selling is happen, all right, then stock market might be crashed down, all right. And then recession might happen as well, okay. If he did, if the project fail, for example. So it usually means that the economy is slowing down, okay. When economy is slow down, earning of the company will be dropped, all right. So if you compare with current earning Q3, it's quite good. If I'm not wrong, around 82% of the S&P 500 company actually meet their forecast expectations. All right. So which is quite good for Q3 earning. But you can see that although Q3 earning is quite good, all right, there was some sell down, okay, last month. So because of the AI bubble. So there are many factors that will cause the stock market to crash down. All right. So one of them is interest rate. And then of course the other one is AI bubble. And then the war. Okay, there are many, many factors. So that's why you need to have a proper strategy, all right, to counter the different market situations. So when earnings drop, right, definitely the stock price will get down. So this is so important for you to be aware, because when the price gap down, right, it will affect your portfolio a lot. Example like Meta gap down by 14%. All right, then your portfolio will be down by 14%. All right. So you need to have some strategy, or maybe diversified to certain stock. Okay. And maybe you need to have some hedging strategy, all right, or short sell strategy. So that means you can play both way, not only buy, but you also know how to short sell, all right, to cater for market situations. So you can see that right now market is, in this internet era, the stock market is so dynamic. Anything can happen because the information, okay, reflect very fast through the internet. So when the information is being received by retail investor, then they will react to the stock markets. And what else? Okay, unemployments increase. All right, when the economic slow down, the unemployment rate will increase. All right, and then fear will be increased. So when the unemployment rate increase, then people will have less money to spend. So when they have less money to spend, of course, it will affect the company earning as well. So when the company earning is affected, then it will affect the stock market price. So you can see that the entire thing, there is a linkage. Okay. So if Donald Trump, all right, is not careful about this interest rate, then it will affect the economic. And when it affect the economic, definitely it will affect the stock market as well. All right. So example, this thing does happen. Okay. For example, 2001, during the time of dot-com bubble, 2007, okay, COVID that time, 2020, okay. So they cut the interest rate in a very faster phase. So when they cut the interest rate in a very faster phase, the stock market will go crash in a very faster phase. All right. So earlier cut often happen when the market is panicking. All right. So this is the danger zone. All right. When the interest rate is cutting in a very faster phase. So remember that, all right? Although we do not know what is going to, how fast Donald Trump want to cut, but just be careful, all right? So the second phase is what? The second phase, when things become so stable, all right? And after panic selling, usually what happens? After panic selling, all right, the buyer will be coming in. So that's where the liquidity is built. So when the liquidity is built, okay, what happened? The stock market will become bull market again. Okay, bull market begins. All right, so you can see that market move in a cycle. Market is actually move in a cycle. All right, so this is where I want to explain this to you. Okay, once the cut is continue and liquidity start to flow in. All right, so there are few things that you need to take notes. Okay, why this thing happen? Why liquidity is built? All right, in phase two. Number one is credit expense. Okay, because more borrowing. All right, I think as an investor, when the interest rate is low, definitely, all right, people will tend to borrow more money to spend, all right, or borrow money to do business, borrow money to buy properties, okay, borrow money for margin trade, all right. So there are more liquidity and asset demand increases, all right. So that is the logic behind it. Bond yield will fall. Okay, so when the what we call that interest rate is being cut, the bond yield will be fall. All right. So money, okay, might actually rotate from bonds into the stock market. All right. Bonds yield might fall. All right. Money from the bond side might rotate into the stock markets. Okay. So that it actually boosts the risk asset. So what is risk asset? Equity is a risk asset lah. All right, equity is the risk asset. So when investor realize that the money that he put in the bonds, all right, does not give him good return, okay, as compared to last time, then obviously they will put the money into the stock market. Okay, so valuation expand. Okay, growth stock become automatically worth more. All right. So what does that mean? That means if you look at the small cap company, mid cap company, all right, they need to borrow money, all right, to maintain their company. So last time they need to pay a lot of the interest, okay, to the bank because they borrow a lot of money, okay, to maintain their business operations. All right. But when the interest rate is cut, they pay less interest. So when they pay less interest, they actually boost their future value of the company. All right. So that is why valuation expand for a growth stocks like small cap and mid cap, okay, become automatically worth more. But it also translate that the small cap and the mid cap become speculative. So that's why in my class, right, I advise my student do not hold the small cap stocks because we do not know when the small cap is going to crash down. So because the small cap, when they crash down, usually they crash down more than 50%. All right. So if you look at the recent small cap crash down, some of them crash more than 60% also have. All right. So that's why you have to be careful. Not so, I mean, you have to have a strategy lah, at the end of the day. All right. And US dollar weaken. All right. And then risk appetite return. So when US dollar weaken, that means when US dollar depreciate, all right, it's become trash. Okay. When US dollar depreciate, it become trash. So with that, right, okay, the investor who are holding US dollar, they will find way, okay, to invest, all right, in what we call that stock markets to increase the value. Okay, because if you keep holding US dollar without investing, then your US dollar will depreciate. All right. I mean, to avoid that to happen, they must invest. Okay, they must invest. So right now, those people who have US dollar, they are looking to invest in a place like stock market. So right now, okay, the bond yield is not attractive. All right. And then the money market fund, if you still remember, I mentioned uh last time used to be 6% per year. So now has been dropping. All right. So that means the safe asset, the return is getting less attractive. All right. The safe asset, the return now is getting less attractive. So when the safe asset return getting less attractive, investor definitely will rotate their money into another area, which is, I believe, stock markets. All right. So that's why you need to get ready. Okay. Because if you are not ready, all right, how are you going to seize the opportunity? Okay. When the thing come, let's say, for example, when the interest rate cut, then the market cause panic, then sell down. All right. And if you have not enough knowledge, okay, you might miss out the opportunity. What if you have sufficient knowledge? Maybe you'll be able to buy back the stocks if the stock market recover. So that's why I want to share this with you. Okay. Not too happy because what you read right now, maybe, some of the, what we call that theory mentions that, interest rate cut, with current situation, maybe markets will be a bullish, but remember there are two phases, all right? The first one is what? The first one, earlier cut, it might cause panic selling, maybe, all right? And then cause the market to be bearish for a while, or maybe a recession fear, all right? So this is some of the assumptions, okay? It might happen, we do not know. So that's why, are you prepared? Are you prepared with these kind of situations? If you are not prepared, all right, then you miss out the second phase. You know why? Because the first phase, if you cannot get through, that means you are stuck, all right? You lost money in the first phase, then eventually you will not be able to participate in the second phase, all right? Because when your confidence level is affected, usually and most of the time, you know, a human being is very difficult for them to participate in the bull run because they already lost the money. So that's why you need to have a proper strategy to cater for different market situations. All right. So what else? Okay. The good thing is that, all right, I also want to share with you what are the sector that we need to focus on. All right. Are you ready? If you are ready, type ready, please. Then I want to share this with you. All right. So this is important. Okay. They are asset that I'm going to focus on, all right, because I have done my research. So these are the four areas that I want to focus on, particularly in the US stock market, all right, particularly in the US stock market, okay? So number one, I still think that technology sector will be doing well, especially the mega cap, especially the mega cap. Okay, why is that so? Okay, let me share this with you. All right, maybe most of you didn't know this. Now, if we look at Apple company, all right, Apple company, you have to understand they are doing the world business. Okay, they do business with many countries. All right, and according to the reports, okay, 40% of their revenue come from outside of United States, come from outside of the United States. Okay, so what happened is this, right? What happened is this. Okay, what happens? So when US dollar is cheap, okay, when US dollar is cheap, when US dollar is depreciate, all right, usually this company, all right, who have a lot of business outside, okay, of United States, okay, they tend to benefit from the US dollar depreciations. So that's why you can see that why Apple stock price keep moving up. Don't you think something is wrong? All right. So that's the reason I tell you. Okay. So of course there are many kind of the tech stocks. Okay. If you ask me, I will still focus on the mega cap. That is the easier one, no brainer. All right. Or maybe if you want easier one, you can buy S&P 500 ETF, or maybe you can just buy QQQ. That is the simple way of investing. All right, no brainer. Okay, but of course, if you want to make more money, all right, during the bull market, then you have to have some knowledge. Okay, like for example, price action strategy knowledge to identify when to buy and when to sell. Okay, what stock are you going to buy and what stock are you going to sell? All right, if you want to make more. Okay, if you want to make more. All right, and gold and silver also one of the sector that I'm looking at. All right, why silver and gold? Okay, when US dollar become depreciate, all right, become trash. Okay, those country like China, including Singapore, they will use their US dollar to buy gold and silver. All right. So you have to understand this. When US dollar depreciate, commodities, okay, will become popular. So the most popular one is still gold, and secondly, maybe is a silver. All right. Because if you keep your US dollar without investing, it will become trash. All right. So that is why, stock market is going to be a bull run, okay, for a second phase, right? If everything, follow Donald Trump plan, okay? What if what we call that? What if the stock market does not follow the Donald Trump plan? Is there any strategy? Later, I'm going to review the strategy with you. All right. Number three is the high risk asset, including the Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. All right. So I want to emphasize this with you. All right. You have to understand is that certain asset you cannot hold one is for trading purposes to participate in the cycle. So once the cycle has ended, you must exit. If you don't exit, you will be stuck again. If you look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, they crashed down for the past 2 months. All right. So if you are not careful, you'll be stuck. But right now, is it an opportunity to enter? Maybe. So that's why the cycle is very important. If you're not careful, you will be stuck. So that's why I want to emphasize again, when you invest in the high risk asset, all right, make sure you know how to use price action to get in and use price actions to get out. All right, because high risk asset you cannot hold. There is a cycle. So once the cycle have ended, all right, then that's it. Okay. Lastly, the real estate. Okay. Now, why real estates? Okay. Why real estates? I think I already explained. When the interest rate is cut, it make the mortgage loan become cheaper. It make the borrowing become cheaper. With that, directly, okay, people will look for housing to buy. All right. And then another asset is like REITs. Okay. So REITs tend to do well when the interest rate is cut, all right, based on the historical data. Okay. But usually for REITs, right, we buy Singapore REITs lah. Oh, we don't buy US REITs. Okay. Why? Okay, because in US, right, okay, if you buy dividend stocks, you will get tax for 30% for US dividend stocks. All right. But if you buy Singapore dividend stocks, particularly REITs, right, you won't be taxed. You will not be taxed for Singapore REITs. Okay. So why Singapore REIT is so attractive is because right now in average, right, they are 6% dividend yield, okay, for Singapore REITs and without tax, okay, without tax. So that's why it make the Singapore REIT, one of the popular dividend stocks, okay, in Asia region. So remember, okay, when I talk about REITs, right, okay, usually we invest in the Singapore REITs, not the US REITs. Okay, so you need to understand this part. All right. Now, technology sector, there are many industry. Okay, there are many industry. There are mega cap, mid cap, small cap. There are internet industry. There are software. There are hardware, semiconductor. Okay, computer chip. All right. There are so many. Okay, there are so many. So that is why you can choose to buy the individual sector or individual what we call that ETF. Okay, so it depends on your risk appetite. All right, if you are a very busy person, no time to look at the market, then the simpler way is for you to invest in the ETF. All right, but if you want to make more money during the bull market, because you have to understand, because bull market when it come, right, you know, it is very interesting for ordinary people to become rich. All right. So I mentioned again, when bull market come, right, it is very important, okay, for ordinary people to become rich. So if you are not ready, all right, how are you going to see the opportunity? So a lot of people say that they always miss out the opportunity. They miss the boat. Ayah, miss out already. Ayah, I never see. Ayah, went up already. But they never tell themselves, okay, they have insufficient knowledge. Maybe they don't want to acknowledge, but from here, I want to tell you honestly, all right, miss out opportunity, okay, went up already, didn't see, nobody tell you, all right, it's because all your fault, okay, because you did not, work hard enough to increase your knowledge. I just want to tell you honestly, okay? And if you improve this four thing, all right, when the opportunity come, you with the knowledge level that you have, right, you should be able, okay, to catch the opportunity. 所以机会是留给那些有准备好的人。你准备好了嘛？ OK，所以如果你还没有准备好，当时我讲过，第一轮的话有可能波动会很大，有可能你会输钱。如果你做不好的话，第一轮你亏了钱，第二轮牛市来的时候你就不敢进场了，就是在那个时候你就亏大钱，就是去了一个很大的机会。So you will miss out the opportunity if your knowledge is not enough. All right, because when the thing come, okay, the opportunity come, if you are not ready, you will always say the damn old thing. Okay, miss out opportunity. All right, what we call that, didn't see, nobody tell you. All right, miss out the boat. Okay, and then what else? All right, give all the excuses. Okay, so you keep repeating the same thing. But the market will not change. All right, market keep moving. All right, so that's why market is cater for people who are ready. So are you ready or not? Okay, so what is the strategy that I'm using? All right, so I think for my student, they already know what strategy. But for you, okay, if you are still new, all right, or maybe you have been trading in the stock market for a while, all right, and you could not see a result. When I say a result means that we are not talking about making $100, $200, that kind of thing. How to transform yourself to become a better investor. Last time you used to make 1,000, okay, and right now you only make 1,000 for a stocks. That didn't improve. We want to see big improvement. Last time you used to make 1,000. Right now, we want you to make $10,000. Last time you used to make $10,000. Right now, we want you to make $100,000. All right. Can this be done? Is this achievable? Okay. Or is this a doable? Yes. My answer to you is doable. I have seen from myself with my eyes, okay, there are some people do it, okay. Why I can see, all right, I think you already know that I have been in this industry, all right, for the past 16 years as a reminder. So that's why I have a lot of clients, okay, in my system. So I can see from myself those good trader, they make good money, they make good fortune, particularly in the US stock markets. All right. Those people who are highly, knowledgeable. All right. So people who are losing money, usually, all right, they trade, anyhow trade. Okay. So that's why they lose money. So if you want to see yourself improve, make more money, okay, improve a lot. I say improve a lot, okay, make more money. Then you need to use a tools that can help you to cater for different kind of the market situations. All right. So the tools that I'm what we call that I'm using, all right, there are two directions. Okay. So first direction is a long position. I think long position, most of you has been doing that. Is to buy low and sell high. All right. So that is a traditional way of investing. And traditional way of investing, right, is only one directions. So one directions, right, okay, it make thing difficult for you when market become bearish. Okay, when market turn down, most likely, you know, investor, particularly retail investor, do not know what to do. Okay, if you do not careful enough, you do not cut loss, all right, then you'll be stuck. Another strategy is to buy high and sell high. So buy high and sell high, okay, might not be suitable for everyone because it doesn't make sense for you. So the strategy that makes sense for you right now, of course, is still buy low and sell high. But most of the people I have seen, they buy low and then they sell low. Okay, they buy low and they sell low. Okay, I don't know why. If you look at US stock market based on historical data for the past 30 years, okay, 80% okay is making money, only 20% is losing money. But why majority of the people still losing money in the stock market, particularly US stock market? So what went wrong actually? What went wrong? All right. So that's why with this webinar, all right, with my course, I hope that can help you to improve, okay, your living style, all right, to improve your trading skill, to improve your investment, to choose the right stock, use the right tools, okay, learn from the right people, okay. And the other way is to do short selling, all right. Now, short selling, I can tell you, most of the people do not know how to do that, but you must learn how to do short sell because you do not know when the market is going to crash down. All right. When the market is crash down, at least you know the skill set. So right now here, I'm talking about skill set. Okay. A skill set that you can learn for once and then you can use it forever. All right. That is very important. It's like, for example, you have been working with a company for so many years. All right. And when the economic is not doing well, you got retrenched. When you got retrenched, okay, you might be panicked if you don't have additional skills. All right. So that is the dangerous, okay, zone that you need to be aware of. Right now, okay, you need to take actions. Why? Because if you are still working, congratulations to you. Continue to work. While you are working, continue to learn. That is the best way because when you are working, you have active income coming in to support your new skill set. If you don't have a job, okay, out of sudden you got retrenched and then you begin to learn stocks and your focus is to make more money in the stock market, which I think is wrong because the more money, I mean, if your objective is to make more money in the stock markets, you are focusing on making money. All right. You are not focusing on the process. So in our way of trading, right? Okay, we focus on the process instead of making more money. So when the process is right, okay, eventually you will see the money, but it will take time. You have to understand investing is a long journey, it's a marathon. So that's why while you are still working, okay, some of you may be retired, okay, you still have money, that's good, okay, you can continue to learn. But you are still working, if you are students, learn as earlier as possible, all right, because the earlier that you learn, the lower risk that you're going to have. You get what I mean? All right. So short selling means that you sell high and buy back low. Sell high and buy back low. So you profit from the markets go downs. Okay. Use it as a bear market or during the corrections. All right. Like what I mentioned, of course, when the market is in the bull run, most likely we will not short. Okay. We will go for long position. But like what I mentioned, if market go to bearish, like I think earlier of this year, like tariff or COVID, all right? If you're not careful enough, all right, then you'll be losing money. But if you know how to short sell, okay, you will avoid the big crash and then make money from the panic selling, all right? So it is important to have a different skill set to cater for a different kind of the market situations. You cannot just have one. You need to have two at least, all right? So what does that mean by long position? Long position means that you buy the stocks, okay? And then short mean you short the market, which is 卖空, 做多卖空. Now, the tools that I'm using is CFD, contract for difference. It's actually supercharge your portfolio in both way. Now, let me explain this to you, all right? Because if you are not careful, okay, you will conclude that CFD is a high risk tools. Now, you have to understand, okay, the tools, okay, is designed for you to use it as long as you use it in the proper way. Example, okay, example. The tools, okay, is to help you to put less money to buy more. All right. Then some people might think in negative way. That means put less money to buy more. All right. Is a very high risk to do that. But the way we do right is to invest in a high quality company, which most of you cannot afford to buy. Like for example, if we want to buy Meta, Meta is a good company. Okay. They're making good money, very profitable company. Currently, the price is $640. So if you have insufficient cash, how are you going to buy? Are you going to buy one share? How are you going to make money? Are you going to buy two share or 10 share? How are you going to make big money? Just now I mentioned we want to make 10,000, we want to make 100,000 or more in the stock market, not about 100 or 200. So that's why the tools that we are using, right, must align with our criteria. Our criteria is very simple. You have to understand this because why? Now, I have a mentor. He always advised me that, okay, Caleb, he always say, Caleb, if you lack of fun, okay, if you have not enough money one day, all right, and you want to do business, okay, it is okay to borrow money to do business. It's fine, he say. But he always remind me, if you borrow money and go to gambling, then that is no. So what do I mean by that? All right, in stock market. So if you are using CFD and then you are going to buy a lousy stocks, then chances are you will lose money. You get what I mean? But however, with CFD, you're going to buy high quality stock, chances are you will make money. Why? Okay, why? Because human beings like that. When you have less capital, all right, there are two stock, cheaper stock and expensive stock. Obviously, you will choose cheaper stocks. But the problem for cheaper stock is that most likely is a speculative stocks. So that's why 99% of the people losing money, okay, in the US stock market, although I already shared with you the fact is that 80% of the stock market, US stock market went up, supposed to make money. All right. Only 20% was down. So why people still lose money? Because most of the time they choose the cheaper stocks. Okay. But the expensive stock like Nvidia, Microsoft, um, Meta, okay, Google, they are not cheap, but the valuation keep moving up. So that's why 80% of the US stock market keep moving up is because of this mega cap. Okay, S&P 500 went up 80% for the past 30 years is because of the mega cap. All right. So if you choose the high quality stock with CFD tools, can you make money or not? All right, based on the probability, you have a very high chance to make more money. So that's why CFD, okay, you put less capital to buy high quality stock. So that's the concept that we are doing right now. So I hope that with this concept, right, it will help you to change your mind. Right now, everyone can trade in the high quality stock as well. Okay. So now beside long position, okay, short position also can make money. Okay, during that time, like for example, what we call it, a tariff, market crash down. Okay, STI index, shorted for 10 share or 10 quantity, make around 9,800. For Hong Kong market, you know, Hong Kong market is volatile. So when it become bearish, We shorted the index, okay, make around how much? $18,000. All right. So you can see that both way also can make money. So this is some of the testimonial. All right. CFD profit 1,800. Um, CFD profit 2,800. All right. So profits around 100%. So that means why? What does that mean by 100%? Okay, it does not mean that the stock price went up 100%. All right, you have to understand. It doesn't mean that the stock price went up 100%. Okay, the stock price for this case went up 10%. Okay, because the blue chips, all right, in CFD is a 10 time leverage. Okay, so that means you put 1,000, you can trade up to 10,000. So that's where the result is 100% in CFD if you know how to trade CFD. All right, so it's achievable, it's doable. All right, another profit is $3,000. Okay, 100% return based on 10 time leverage for high quality companies. So that means, example, if Meta went up 10%, and if you are using CFD to buy, if Meta went up 10%, your CFD profit will be 100%. That is the calculations. So if you want to choose a stock that going up 100%, right, it's not easy. But if you are trading for a stock that 10% return, okay, it's not difficult. You get what I mean? So if you target 10% return, all right, with CFD, you will have a very attractive return. You get what I mean? And what if the market rebound? Okay, what if market rebound? All right. So that's why I say we have both way, both strategy. Because if you look at my earlier explanation, there are two phases. So the first phases, all right, if Donald Trump is not doing well, all right, or Donald Trump interest rate cut is too fast, it might cause a bearish in the stock market. Okay, that was a short selling part. But what if, okay, the market rebound, maybe in the second phase, all right? Then we go for a long position. So a long position, there are few ways. Okay, one of the way is that we can buy the individual stocks. All right. Example, Tesla. Okay, if you want to make money from Tesla, actually not easy because the price is so volatile. So this is a real case, all right, based on price action strategy, bought at $11 and then sold at around $15 plus. Okay, profit around 16,000 US dollars. All right. So this is price action strategy based on support level and the resistance level, which you need to have certain skill to make this kind of the money. So that's why I mentioned just now. Okay, if you are still working, all right, spend some time to learn new skill set, because the skill set that you learn, right, it will stick with you forever, so that you can use it forever as well. So you no need to be afraid that one day you got retrenched, or maybe you retired already, you don't know what to do. All right, so I encourage everyone to trade, to invest in the stock market. Okay, because when you keep investing, all right, it also help, to build out your brain, become more stronger. Okay, so try to find something to do after retired, but of course before that you need to learn. Okay, so this is another strategy. All right, we call it multiple age of entry. So during that time, American Express pull back and then touches the support level, okay, and then it rebound. All right. So with this strategy, we actually use CFD to buy, okay, because American Express is a great company, but the price was expensive, 300 US dollar. Oh, so 300 US dollar as compared to normal people who are trading only $1 stock and 50-cent stock, and then out of sudden ask you to buy $300 stock, then you'll be stuck. Okay, so 300 stocks, okay, is an expensive stock. So that's why you need to know how to use the tools to participate in this stock. So American Express is a great company, it's a credit card, American Express. All right, so how I do it, okay, let me share this with you. All right, so um, now I am using a CFD, of course. All right. I also have this CFD calculator that this CFD calculator is invented by myself because I've been trading CFD for the past many years. So with this calculator, it will help me to calculate my stop loss price, my risk reward ratio, okay, cash trade profit, stop loss, CFD profit, and then followed by CFD trade stop loss. All right. So with these informations, it will actually give me a very clear understanding is that how much money am I going to make and how much money am I going to lose, all right, if I am wrong. So at one glance, I'll be able to make a decision whether is this a good trade or not, okay, whether is this a good trade or not, all right. So let me share this with you, all right, AXP, American Express, okay, all right. So it's still a good company, all right. You can see that the price keep moving up, okay. Is a very what we call that. If you know how to do swing trade, I think American Express is a good stocks for you to do swing trade. All right, but I just want to share with you, okay, how we spotted this stock during that time. All right, so the price spotted was around $300. Okay, and that was here. All right, so price. So I use price actions, okay, downtrend line, and then the price break above the trend line, okay, and touches the support level as well. So where the support level, all right. So the support level is based on the previous resistance, okay. So just connect the two line, right. So this is a support level, $300, and the price breakout, okay. So this is the area that we spotted, and then it actually gives us an opportunity to enter. All right. So with this opportunity, okay, and if you know how to use CFD, all right, of course, you need to have a tools like this CFD calculator. So what I did is that I just key in the price, 300 share, and then quantity, maybe we put 200 share. So what is the target price? So the target price can be based on the previous high, okay? So that means the resistance area, 328, 328. So 328, all right. So the stop loss we put at 3%, okay. And the margin requirement for this stock, I think is 20%, all right. How do I find is 20%? Okay, it's based on the Pohim platform, okay. So the Pohim platform, let me show you what platform am I using. So this is a Pohim platform. And this Pohim platform, of course, is a Singapore platform. It comes with US stocks and then followed by what we call that CFD, okay, is available in this platform as well. All right. So the CFD, actually, Philip is a market maker, okay, for CFD. So that means if you want to choose a CFD platform to trade, make sure you choose a very safe platform. All right. So Singapore Philip Security CFD is the safer platform. Okay. So AXP, all right. Where is AXP? So I search for AXP. Now there are two categories. So first category is what we call that uh first category is equity. All right, equity is means stocks, okay, and then followed by CFD. CFD is a contract for difference. So choose the green color one because I want to trade for CFD. All right, so CFD and American Express, okay, double click. All right, So this is a margin requirement. It indicates 20%, all right? So I just key in 20% and it will help me to calculate how much margin requirement, okay, or the deposit required for these stocks, all right? And contract value is $60,000, okay, which is quite a lot for normal people, all right, US dollar. Okay, so today, if you are using cash to buy, you need to fork out 60,000 US dollar, okay, which is quite a lot for some people. But with CFD, right, because of the 20% margin requirement, you just need to put um 20% deposit, which is 12,000 US dollar to buy 200 share. All right. So that is makes sense for high quality company. You put less capital and then the risk reward ratio is very attractive. All right. So the calculator actually helped me to calculate almost immediately. All right. 1 to 3. So that means you risk $1 to make $3. Then that makes sense. All right. So if you are using cash to trade $60,000, your profit would be 5,600, 9.3% return, and the stop loss is 1,800, which is 3% stop loss. So can you compare your cash trade with CFD trade profit? So if you look at the amount, both are the same. All right, 5,600 profit for CFD trade and the cash trade. But in terms of the percentage, okay, what happened? In terms of the percentage in CFD, you make 46%. All right. And CFD stop loss, you lose 15%. This is normal because the calculation is based on the deposited amount, the amount that you have put in, which is $12,000. But if you compare the amount that you make and the amount that you lose, right? Both cash trade and CFD trade, they are the same amount. So today I want to ask you, if the return and the losses both have same amount, why you still need to use $60,000 to trade these stocks? All right, it doesn't make sense for me. Why don't you use CFD with less capital to trade this stock? Because the return of the amount and the losses, okay, both are the same. You get what I mean? All right. So a lot of people they don't understand this part. That's why they conclude that CFD is high risk. All right. But at the end of the day, okay, because they do not understand the feature of the CFD, and it is my duty to share with you how I use this CFD to make money from the high quality company in the United States. All right. Now, with these, tools, right, everyone can participate. All right. I mean, you can choose to buy 100 share. Okay. So you just need to put 6,000 capital. Or you can choose to buy 50 share if you are new. Then you just put 3,000 US dollar. Or you want to buy 10,000 share. Sorry, 10 share. Also can. All right. So US stocks, right? There's no minimum. Okay. You can buy one share, but one share, it doesn't make sense. So that is why with these tools, right? Okay, it actually will help you to improve the way that you trade. Last time you used to make 1,000. Okay. Maybe with these tools, right, it can help you to make more or 10,000. All right. So you need to find the right way and learn from the right people to make more money. Okay. If I don't share this with you, of course, you will never know about these features. All right. So this is a CFD calculator, and I took a lot of my time to brainstorm and then to design this calculator for my own use. But right now, because I'm teaching, okay, CFD, and I give this calculator to my students, all right, because they deserve it. They need these tools to help them, all right, to invest in the CFD platform as well. So this is how I do. All right, I'm going to share with you is a very simple strategy. All right, with a simple tools. Okay, with calculator. So it's achievable. All right, you can make it as well. Okay, so you see that the idea is not uh the idea is not for you to choose the stock that run 100% or 50%. The idea is that you choose a high quality stocks, okay, that has a potential to go up by 10%, okay, with 20% margin requirement. Eventually you could make 46%. You get the idea. All right. So it's actually quite achievable because most of the mega cap, right? You look at the price fluctuations, okay? Some of them, the fluctuation could be, 5% to 10% for a week. All right. So you buy and hold for a week, maybe, all right, the stock could appreciate 10%. And then that will translate into CFD, maybe 100%. All right. So depending on some of the stock is 10 times leverage, then of course it will make your CFD profit much more attractive. All right. So most of the mega cap is what we call that a 10% margin requirement. All right. Okay. So I just want to share with you how I do it, and then you also can do it. All right. So this is uh now American Express was mentioned in our what we call that students Telegram group as well. So with the opportunity, and this is another students, okay, a real case, all right, real story, put 51,000 and profit 600% when the market is good, all right, you could make this kind of the return. So that's why I ask you, are you ready for a next phase of bull market or not? Or we call it second phase of bull market. Are you ready? If you're ready, you could make this kind of profit as well. All right. So this is another example. Nvidia 2000 share. Imagine if you buy Nvidia 2000 share using cash, how much does this cost? All right. It could probably cost you 400,000 US dollars. Okay. So with CFD, everyone can participate, high quality company. All right. When the price appreciate, you could make money as well. Okay. But of course, risk management is also very important. That is why if you look at my calculator, does include stop limit order as well as what we call that OCO order to protect your capitals and to protect your profits. Okay, so you can see that the limit type, right, the order type, right, come with different type of order, particularly stop limit order and also OCO order. OCO order is a one cancel another order. It's an advanced order type. So that's why this skill set, once you learn, right, okay, you can use it forever because skill set will stick with you forever. So that's why um we talk about leverage. Leverage does not only leverage on the money, it's leverage on the system. The system has the advanced features, the leverage also on the people, okay, because like for example when I teach you, you are leverage on me. All right, we also talk about leverage on the resources, okay, because some of the stock you might not familiar with, and then maybe some of our students share some stocks. All right, so they are sharing the resources, so this is what I call leverage on the resources as well. So don't get it like what we call that, it's not just about leverage on the money, it's leverage on people's, leverage on the resources, okay, leverage on the system, all right, and leverage on the people's success. So that is the key point that you need to learn. All right, so what else? Okay, so this is some of the testimonial. When market is good, all right, you could make this kind of profit, 89,000, okay, US dollar, 26 US dollar, 328,000, okay, dollar, and $315,000. All right, so this is a real case. Okay, so we don't teach theory. All right, so there are two type of learner actually. Some of the learner, okay, they want to learn, you know to get certificates. All right. But some of the learner is a real trader. They want to learn the strategy and they want to use the strategy, okay, to apply the strategy in the stock market directly. So you have to decide what type of the investor you are. So in here, I want to share with you, we teach a real case study. We teach a practical, okay? We teach you how to trade. We show you, okay? And then we give you the resources, all right? Leverage on the people, okay? That's what we have been doing. Now, what happened in March this year? I think most of you know because of the Donald Trump tariff, US stock market Nasdaq dropped 25%. All right. So what was you doing during that time? Okay. Most of the people they will stay sideways or maybe they stuck. All right. But there are two things you can do. Okay. Two things. Number one is that you learn how to short. Just now I shared with you. If you learn how to short, okay, you could make money as well. All right. But but if you do not learn how to short, okay, there is another way for you to make money as well, okay, which is the Hong Kong markets. Now, this is again a real case, all right. So during that time, okay, surprisingly, when the US market crashed down and Hong Kong market was doing well, all right. So in here, right, okay, in this 10x program, I call it, we learn at least two markets, namely US stock market. The other one is a Hong Kong stock markets. All right. So what does that mean? That means we also leverage on the market. What do I mean by leverage on the markets? Now, as an investor and a trader, you must have the skill set at least for two markets. Okay, for me, I know how to trade three markets: US, Hong Kong, and Singapore. All right, for you, maybe Malaysia market, Hong Kong, and US. All right, so if you have three market knowledge, that would be best lah. Okay, so that's why when the US market was crashing down, if you have the knowledge, okay, during that time, how to invest in the Hong Kong market, then you will make money. Okay, so this is the fact, all right. When US was crashed down 25%, Hong Kong markets, okay, make money. So you can see that the student wrote, okay, 港股涨，但是美股却下降了。OK，感谢老师的教导。All right, so this is very proud when I see this result. All right, it's not just about making money. It's about teaching people a skill set. All right, without hiding the strategy. Okay, so that everyone can make money through the stock markets. That is the most proud moment that I have. All right. So I want to share this with you. Okay. We spotted Hong Kong market opportunity because Hong Kong market for the past 3 years was bear market. And I spotted the first recovery was in May last year. All right. So we begin to make good money, 45,000, 55,000 in Hong Kong market. And October 2024, the profit increased 100,000, 137,000, and then followed by this year, March, our profit increased to 378,000. Now, what I mean by that, all right? Now, Hong Kong market is also have a great potential. Reason is because that the only market that didn't make new high, I think is Hong Kong market. Okay, maybe Malaysia market also haven't make new high. But what I mean is that um, one of the biggest market in the world, Hong Kong, all right, has a great potentials, has not reached new high yet. So if I can make this kind of money, reason is because that the money already flow into the Hong Kong market. So that's why you make money. Okay. So in Chinese, we always say 哪里有鱼就哪里钓. Oh, 所以意思是什么呢? What does that mean? That means if the money flow into the particular country markets, it actually make your what we call that make things easier for you to make more money. All right. So don't think that if you are very good in technical analysis and fundamental analysis, but if there's no money flow into the market, no matter how good you are in technical analysis, you cannot make money. Just like I want to share this with you. No matter how good you are in technical analysis, you know how to draw the trend line, you know how to use the indicator. But what if you choose the wrong stocks? The stock that's not interested by the market maker. Nobody buy one. No matter how good you are in technical analysis. All right. The money is not inside this stock. How are you going to make money? So you cannot blame technical analysis not accurate, right? Okay, just because that you like the stocks. So what I mean is that if you want to make money, you must look at the biggest market in the world. Number one is still US. Second, I believe, is Hong Kong market. So if I can make this kind of money, so do you. All right. So remember, I just come from a very ordinary family. All right. So I also a very slow learner. So today, okay, if you do not know me, please give me 5 minutes to share with you about myself. Now, first thing, you can take out your smartphone and scan this QR code to join my Telegram group. So whenever I have a free webinar or maybe an opportunity, I will share in this Telegram group. All right. So maybe John, you might want to share the Telegram group link in the chat room so that they can click and join as well. I also one of the co-founder in this NDU system. All right, just a quick story. All right, I joined Philip Securities. I think 16 years ago together with Andy. All right, so during that time, we trade by ourselves, and then we begin to find idea how to choose the right stock. Because I come from IT background, I can do some programming. So with that, right, I program some of the programming, how to search the right stock, and that's how the system being invented. So during that time, we call it art system lah, huh? Now we already changed it to NDU, and that's how we begin. And our client begin to ask us how we choose the right stock because some of the stock they never see before. And yeah, we share with them, and then they begin to ask us how they want to own the system, and we started to teach lah. So that's why we teach from quite some time ago until today because of this system. And I also one of the IBF accredited trainer. Um, Through this IBF is a government agency. All right. So it's not easy to become an accredited trainer because you need to you know you need to train, you need to show some record, you need to have some knowledge lah, no? So that's why I say if you want to learn trading skill set, make sure you learn from the right person who have the license, particularly in Singapore, because Singapore is a very strict company. All right. When we talk about financial market, so that's why I say learn from the right person and a person who have what we call that a specialist in CFD. All right, to become a CFD specialist in Singapore is also not easy. You need to uh, go through the training. You need to go through certain thing like show them the records. Okay, with a certain experience. All right, so I want to take this opportunity, okay, throughout the years, right, also get quite a number of award, but with your support as well. So I want to take this opportunity to say thank you to you, okay, and thank you for your continued support. So stock market actually changed my life. Reason is because that it does not only help me to make more money, but it also helped me to make a lot of friends, particularly some of the very successful businessmen. I also learned from them. Okay, it helped me to shorten my learning curve and my career path. To help me to make more money, to build my wealth in a consistent way. So with that knowledge, I hope that I can share with you in the 10X class because sometimes it's not just about technical analysis, it's about instances, okay, that you need to be focused on in order to make good income from the stock markets. How to profit from the stock market consistently. there is a way. All right. So with that, right, I want to share this with you. Okay. Whatever thing that I shared with you just now, it just you know um the icebergs. All right. So maybe 10% of what I share with you in my full course. So if you want to learn how to trade in the US stock market and Hong Kong stock markets, from beginners to traders, okay, you can learn, you can trade. All right, let me introduce you this 10x strategy. Now this 10x strategy, right, is a 26-week program. Okay, that means it's a half year program. Let me explain to you why half year. Because I'm a slow learner. All right, I went to a lot of the courses. Okay, most of them are 2-day courses. All right, but most of the time I cannot fully understand. Okay, because a slow learner like me. But I realized that, okay, if I want to teach one day, all right, I should, you know, what we call that, come out with my personal program that have sufficient time for the student to learn and then to see what I do and then to share with you what stock idea I'm having. So I realized that 26 week is sufficient enough, all right, for you to understand US market and Hong Kong market and how to identify when to enter and exit. So that's why 26-week program is being created. So what are you going to learn or discover from this program? First thing is mentorship. So why mentorship is important? Okay, particularly okay when the market turn down, when the market become bearish, when everyone is so worried, you need someone okay to guide you what to do. All right, because when the market crash down, a lot of the individual traders and investor, they are so lonely, they don't know what to do, they become helpless. All right, so mentorship is to guide you, okay, to support you, okay, throughout the trading journey, and then to show you, all right, what is the right strategy, what is the plan, and what is the objective, all right, throughout the what we call that, the stock trading's opportunities. Now trading communities is like a telegram group. So that means we have students who are willing to share some of the stocks and then some of the strategy as well. So each of us will help each other. So our Telegram group is quite active because there are some senior who are willing to teach. Reason is because that I always emphasize on this thing is that the more that you share, the more that you learn. Okay, like what I share with you right now. In fact, I also learn because it's help to remind myself to do the right thing consistently. Okay, when you teach, you remember. All right, so that you can become a very consistent a traders and the investor. So the strategy that I'm using is a price action strategy based on trend, chart pattern, candlestick, as well as a support and the resistance, but of course with the risk management as well. And real case study is important, all right, because this is an ongoing class. You have to understand, I need to explain to you, all right. Now, if you look at our school system, okay, from primary one, secondary school, university, all right, when you graduated from your university, okay, can you be guaranteed that you can find a good job? You might not be able to guarantee, right? Okay. But what I mean is that stock trading, right, you need to have someone to show you, okay? Because you cannot learn by yourself only. Unless you learn by yourself, then you need to throw a lot of money. You need to burn a lot of money. So what I mean is that, okay, the ongoing class is good is because that when certain thing happen to the stock market, like for example, the tariff, okay, during that time, market crashed down, okay? So that was real. So when that thing happened, okay, we begin to plan what we supposed to do. Are we going to cut loss? Are we going to add position? Are we going to stay sideways? All right. So what are the stock lists that we are watching, focusing when the market return or rebound? So all these things, right, okay, can only be learned through 26-week program. It cannot be learned through 2 days workshop, right? Because every week we will discuss about the stock market because stock market is dynamic. And therefore, okay, the class we do it is an ongoing class. And you no need to worry because some of you might worry that, oh, you are new. When you come in, you don't know what to do because we already have this onboarding video. Okay. When you onboard, okay, you will see the onboarding video. All right. So that you are informed with the program, how this program is being conducted. Okay. So that's why ongoing class is important and is much more easier for you to learn, absorb, because whatever thing that I share with you is a real case. It happened already, right? Then I share with you. Happen, I share with you so that you can absorb easily. Lah. So live coaching, okay, through this 26 week, through the Zoom meeting, and then the tools is a calculator that I show you just now, CFD calculators, all right, that help me to make a consistent profit in the stock market. And bonus is US stock watch list and Hong Kong stock watch list. I spend a lot of time uh, searching for potential stock. So I call it my $1 million watch list. So if you join my class, right, okay, I'll share with you the watch list. Lah. And the VIP membership site is to for people who are miss out the live coaching through the Zoom meeting, then you can log into the membership site to watch the video again and again as long as you have the internet, computer or mobile phone. Let me show you what is the membership look like, okay? So you will have the access to this membership site called Caleb 10X programs, 10X strategy. And the first part is the onboarding video, all right, to onboard you. And then also getting started with CFD trading, okay, how to use the calculators, all right, CFD for beginners, and followed by how to get started with ETF trading, indices, leverage ETF, inverse ETF, all right. So ebook, how to trade Hong Kong market for beginners, advanced moving average trading strategy, all right, chart patterns, and Hong Kong stock watch list. So this is a weekly sessions every night. Sorry, not every night, every Tuesday. Okay, 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. All right. So during the session, of course, I will record the video. All right, and then I will upload the video to this membership site so all the member can rewatch the video. So you can see that the topic of each session is different. And why is it so? It's because it's an ongoing class. Because stock market is dynamic, all right? So when certain trend appear, then we will look into it and we will try to apply the strategy. Like for example, gold and silver strategy with a secret stocks review. All right. So there are some stock that related to gold and silver. Okay. And CFD advanced tool calculators. All right. So this is a revisions and strategy for choppy market, sideways markets. So we can see that when market change, then we will begin to discuss what is our strategy for a different market situation. So that's why you cannot learn this through 2 day workshop. And because of that, I create this program for you, 26 week with different kind of the topic cater for a different market situation so that you'll be able to understand, okay, almost, okay, on the same week. And therefore, you'll be able to learn and absorb quickly. All right. So what else? Okay, how to multiply the returns with risk management, all right? Smart money rotations, big move from small cap to a mega cap, all right? So fund flow secrets, okay? Overpriced Hong Kong attractive, okay? What is our next move? So before the Fed cuts, okay, key market expectation. So all this video, you'll be able to access all this video, all right? And we pay for it, all right? Because the storage is getting bigger and bigger. Because the more video that we upload, all right, the more cost that we need to pay. But we didn't increase the price, okay, for the class yet. So that's why you need to be quick, lah, okay? Because you can see that the cost is increasing. And then, if we see that it is time to increase the price, then of course we will increase the price, all right? So what else? Okay. All right. So like what I mentioned, okay. So this 26-week program includes online Zoom meeting from 7 p.m. to from 7:30 p.m. to 9 p.m. every Tuesday night. And trading strategy, including price action strategy, market update, and then I'll share with you my individual stocks like US and Hong Kong. And if you look at this is a watch list, all right? I will categorize the watch list in a mega cap, ETF, medium risk for CFD trading, and then followed by low risk ETF and high risk ETF as well. Mid high risk stocks, and then very high risk stock for a small cap. So you can see that we do different type of the stock. We don't just focus on one stock only. So 哪里有鱼我们就去哪里钓，就是不管什么股票，只要这个股票可以赚钱，我们就会买那个股票。不管黑猫还是白猫，能抓老鼠的猫肯定是好猫。All right. So this is a Hong Kong stock watch list. Okay. Blue chip company stock watch list, growth stocks company, followed by Hong Kong ETF and Hong Kong two-time leverage ETF and high risk stock as well. All right. So this will be shared with you if you join the class so that it will shorten your learning curve. So you can just focus on the watch list. And trading community is through the Telegram group worth $509. So this is a place whereby you can ask questions, learn, and then share your knowledge. So to level up together lah. So individual stock idea, like for example, during that time, Broadcom was trading at around 200 plus. Okay, I spotted the opportunity. So Avago, potential CFD trade setup. So after sharing, all right, the price went up around 50% for next few weeks, for next few weeks, right? So you can see that this is a Telegram group. So I do share some of the stock opportunity as well, particularly for US and Hong Kong markets. Membership side, which I already show you, all right? So it will be giving to you the access, okay? As long as you have internet and computer, you can access anytime you want. So this is the calculators. My staff put it as 188, but I would say that this calculator is worth much more than this amount. All right. I don't think other trainer have this kind of the calculators because this calculator has been with me for the past 10 years and I keep improving. All right. I keep improving because I trade CFD for myself. So when I trade CFD for myself, obviously I will share the same resources with you. So that's why this class is not about leverage on CFD tools. It's leverage on the people's, okay, leverage on the people resources, okay, and leverage on the people's knowledge as well. All right. So these some of the profit, okay, from 7,500 to 13,000 through CFD, 63,000, 10,000 US dollars. When market is really good, are you ready or not? All right. So together with this item, all right, the total amount is 2,679 US dollar. It's not $10,000 cost. It's not $100,000 cost. But today it only worth 697. All right. So if you divide it by 26 week, right, it only $26 per week. So you imagine $26 per week, you can learn a skill set that can be used forever to make money in the stock markets. Why not? All right. Imagine again, all right, $26. Okay. If you go for dinner with your family, obviously you spend more than $26. That is for food. But you think about it. $26 can help you to increase your knowledge in Hong Kong market and the US stock market. Why not? Right? So you think about it, okay? But with these Black Friday promotions, okay, we have a promotions price for tonight, okay, $597 only. So if you are interested, click the link in the chat room and then sign up for the class right now. Now, this is the promotion code 10XBF. So you need to copy the promotion code, all right, and key in the code, okay? You need to key in the code. Maybe let me show you, okay? Let me show you. Let me show you how to do it. Right, so you click on the link and then click on the green color button, all right? Key in your particular. Can you see the enter the coupon code, all right? So you key in the coupon code 10XBF, right? Okay, and apply. Okay, so you will get a discounted amount, $597. So go ahead, key in your payment. So to sign up for the class tonight, okay? So I also honor to get Andy to share with you what is the value for this 10x class. So with that, right, let us listen what Andy want to say.
I just want to share, right, okay, why we actually have this 10x strategy. Because a lot of people, right, when they follow us, up to a point, they realize that they make money, but they don't have enough money. Yeah. So a lot of people, they make money, and then they say, hey, I don't have enough money. I don't have more money. Okay, because all the stock is very good, and we don't have more money to buy. Okay. So we realized that, actually, a lot of people have limited capital, but they actually eventually become a good trader. So when you are a good trader, you know how to manage risk, you know how to get in, get out, you know how to, trade overseas shares, right? What do you need next? What do you need next after, you know all this, right? So then we realize, actually a lot of people, they don't know what is leverage. They don't know what is what we call this leverage. And some people, they try by themselves, okay? They try by themselves. It is more expensive if you try by yourself, okay? It is more expensive if you try by yourself, because this is what we call leverage, okay? It's leverage. So if you try by yourself, it can easily cost you a few $1,000s, okay? And, I asked Caleb, hey, why not we just give a very affordable cost, no stress, because as a trader ourselves, we don't want to have stress, okay? Because again, sometimes we make more money doing our trades rather than hand holding and all that. We say, hey, we just have a small fees. Okay, this is just a small fees, just a few $100s, and and we deliver value. Okay, so a value like 26 weeks. Okay, even your mother won't have that patience to sit down with you every day to coach you. Nobody, right? Nobody, the parents will sit down with you, coach you 26 weeks. Okay, if there is this is a very, very patient person, a very patient person. So so we are in this journey. So this is a 26-week journey. Caleb will handhold like everybody to walk through things over and over again. Okay, and again he say just $20 over. If today you go a yoga class, you go a baking class, you go any class, even a music class. A music class will cost like $70 over at least. Okay, at least $70, $50 to $70. Right, music class. So a lot of times, we just want to just share with you, what we do every week, so that ourselves also improve. Okay, ourselves become a better trader, repeating the rules, repeating the basics, and also repeating like finding the good stocks in the market. Okay, personally, I really like, Caleb also gave me quite a good, few good stocks, and some of these size, right? Some of these trades, right? Okay, let me earn like a few $100,000. Okay, some of these trades. Okay, so and a lot of times, like you never know. Okay? You never know what trade you actually got in. Okay, got one is the quantum computing stocks. I just follow, right? And then yeah, this is really sometimes it's on spot. One more person watch for you is better than you watch by yourself. I believe that the 10x, right? The idea of 10x is leveraging on people, okay? Leverage on people, leverage on experience, other people's experience, and leverage on other people's time, okay? Leverage on other people's time, and also risk management, okay? Risk management. So a lot of people, right? They have this misconception is I have to do it by myself. Okay, the most difficult thing is to do it by yourself. If other people can do for you, and what you need to do is just do well on what you can do. Okay, so in other case over here, if you're thinking to learn by yourself, okay, to me I think it's very dangerous because I'm like that last time. Okay, I tried to learn by myself, and it took me a very long time and very painful journey to learn by myself. Okay, so that's what I want to say. So anyway, like Caleb say, it's just a few $100. Yeah. Today I have lunch with him. It's already $100 over. Yeah. So it's like it's just a lunch or dinner with a family. Okay, and just this is the 26 weeks. If you divide by that, it's just like a small feast. So anyway, okay. Again, we focus on no stress trading. Okay, risk management, play safe, and improve ourselves on this journey. Okay, so yeah, okay, make a decision. Okay, be an action taker. We really encourage everybody here, to join this Caleb's class, and even if you already joined my NTUC. Okay, so if you want to speed up, then you have two coach that guide you along this journey, which is faster, I would say. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Mr. Andy. Okay, so if you sign up today, okay, I'm going to give you the chart of the chart pattern ebooks. All right, now certain chart pattern is very important because common chart pattern, if you can catch the right common chart pattern, right, okay, the right strategy using the CFD tools, which I just showed you just now, the American Express setup just now, right? There was a ascending triangle chart pattern. So one of the strategy actually come from this ebook. So I'm going to give it to you for if you sign up for the class. And I also give you another ebook consists of the Hong Kong stock watch list that I spend a lot of time do research. And I think there are more than 20 stock inside this ebook for Hong Kong stock so that you can kickstart what stock to look at for the Hong Kong stock market. And frequent asked question is that, okay, what is the difference between this class and another class? Okay, first thing, this class is more on leverage, CFD, all right? And this class also focus on two market, US and Hong Kong market. I mean, if you go outside, okay, most of the time, they only teach you one market and then they charge you another price for another markets. So for me, I want everyone to participate with a very reasonable price. So I include two market for you. Okay. So I also teach you how to hedge the market. So that means in case the market crash down, at least you know the skill set, how to minimize the losses. All right. And I also teach you how to short sell strategy. Okay. So particularly the strategy that I'm using is a price action strategy. So is this program has skill future? No, this program is my personal program, don't has a skill future. Is this a ongoing class? Yes, I already explained to you is a ongoing class. So what is CFD? So why is CFD not option? Okay, CFD is much more simple. Option come with expiry date, and then options minimum quantity is 100 share. All right, so for CFD, very simple, one share minimum, has multiple market, including Singapore, US, Hong Kong, and Malaysia market. And you can also trade the indices for CFD as well. So is this suitable for beginner? Yes, it's suitable for all type of the investor because 26-week program, it is sufficient time for you to learn Hong Kong and the US market, at least you know how to look at the chart, identify when to enter and exit, how to use the CFD tools and the calculators. So what if you miss out the class? What if you miss out the live sessions? All right, no worry, there's a recording, huh? So you can access the VIP membership site to rewatch the video lah. So if you do not know what is Hong Kong market and US market, no worry. I can share with you my watch list. Just now I share with you. So you can just focus on the watch list that I give you. All right. And what happened after 26 weeks? All right. You can choose to renew. Okay. Renewal fee will definitely discount. Okay. But like what I mentioned, you focus on the class first. Okay. After 26 weeks, then you decide. All right. If you think that I give value to you, if you think that this class help you, then you can choose to renew lah. Oh? So with that, right, if you have any questions, you can always ask me. Okay. So if there's no questions, okay, then I would like to thanks your time for being here. Okay. 所以非常感谢你们抽空你们的宝贵时间来上我这个线上研讨会。所以我们下一个星期再见。OK，我们有这个3-day Black Friday。All right, so I see you next week. Yes, it's ongoing class. You're right. The class is already started. Okay. So, but you no need to worry. All right. Like what I mentioned, there is an onboarding video. Okay. You can watch the onboarding video. When you join the class, at least you know what is happening. All right. So I also explained to you why ongoing class is important because we are talking about dynamic market. The market it keep changing. So if you only learn from 2-day class, okay, it's very difficult for you to learn about how to trade in the right way lah, huh? Can? All right. Okay, thank you. I see you next time.
Recording stopped.